Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica. It's time for another crafty podcast. My crafty podcasts include all kinds of things that I'm working on, upcoming things, and usually some sneak peeks too. And I do have quite a few sneak peeks for you today. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I don't have a whole lot of finished items to share today. I do have a few, but most of my things that I have for today are going to be works in progress. And then, like I said, I have a lot of sneak peeks coming down your way as well. So we need to kind of keep those on the down low, but I did want to share them with you so that you know what is coming so you can get ready. So we're going to start off with cross stitch. So my August cross stitch just released. If you missed that video, go back and check it out. I go into detail more there, but I just wanted to share them really quickly here with you. So here's our August pillow, and we just made this cute little pillow. And each month I'm trying to give you something new, a new way to finish them. I'm hoping you can take those skills and then use that for future cross stitch pieces so you have a variety of ways to finish them off. I am running out of ideas, so if you have any ideas, make sure to leave those in the comments below. But for this one, I wanted to show you how to do binding on a smaller project. So this is essentially like regular quilt binding, and we just did it on this little baby pillow. So I think it turned out really cute. There's a tutorial in that release video, so you can definitely check that out. And our theme for the month is, of course, strawberries. The fabric that I used on this was from my Bloom collection. I've got a lot of leftover scraps, and so I'm just using them all up. And pillows and things like these little cross stitch pieces are perfect for using up your scrap fabric because they really don't take hardly any fabric at all, and it's not like you're trying to make one big project with them. I mean, this is, I think, finished. I think I finished this at like 5.5 by 5.5 or something like that. Maybe it's 6 by 6, but it wasn't a very large piece of fabric. So you can definitely have fun diving in your scrap bin to finish up these cross stitch pillows. Now the next thing I have for cross stitch is definitely a sneak peek. This is the September cross stitch that's coming soon. So if you don't want to see it, look away or skip forward. I'll put maybe a timestamp here so you know where to skip forward. In the previous years, we have always done sunflowers for September. I love sunflower stuff, so this year is no different. So here is our little stitchy piece, and I haven't decided how I'm going to finish this yet. That's not true. I do think I know how I'm going to finish it. I just haven't had time to, but I'm also still debating a little bit. But we do have two little sunflowers. They're going opposite directions, and what I did for these sunflowers is I just swapped the colors. So you've got the light on the outside, and then the darker, and then the light. So I think it looks really cute. It gives it a little bit of dimension. The quilty pillow is not finished yet. I am still in the process of making that, so you can imagine what it's going to look like though. It's basically the same as the stitchy piece. I was just working on a lot of my cross stitching recently because I've been watching some of the Olympics and movies in the evening with my kids, and cross stitch is really easy for me to just sit there and work on one while we're doing that. So the quilty one is coming, and you will see that one in the video release on September 1st. All right, and then my next thing is another sneak peek, and I'm keeping it in my Craft to Go tote. If you haven't seen this, this is a free tutorial here on YouTube, and it's the perfect little tote for things like cross stitch or English paper piecing. So check it out if you haven't made one. They're pretty easy to make, and I have a couple of these now, and I use them all the time. They're one of my favorites. So for the past 3 years, I have been releasing ornaments for the holidays, and I release quilty versions and stitchy versions. The quilty ones I'm still undecided on this year because they have a lot of small pieces, and I like to try and keep them semi-beginner friendly, but there's a lot of pieces on those. So let me know in the comments below if you're ready for something a little bit more challenging for the ornaments this year. If not, I might skip the quilty version this year and just do the stitchy version, and then I have 2 other new ones coming as well that I'm going to show you later in this video. But just to give you a heads up on what they're gonna look like, I'm just gonna show you one of them, and it's actually not done. I'm still in the process of making it, but here is the first one, and it's probably hard to tell on camera, but it is being stitched on a very light pale pink glittery background fabric. This is 14 count Aida, and I will have all of the information on the fabric I'm using and everything once we do a full release for these. And then the theme for this year is going to be the Nutcracker, and so I think you're going to enjoy these. Their stitchy ones are just so cute. I can't wait to show you. The other thing I wanted to show you so you could prepare is finishing. So I'm not going to tell you exactly how I'm finishing them right now, but you will need a couple things to finish them, and I thought if you are a planner like I am, I would let you know what's happening with that. So I'm going to be finishing mine on these wooden discs. They are 3-inch wooden discs. I got them from Amazon. I will link them below. I'm also going to be using this pink and white cording, and I got this on Amazon as well, so I will link both of those things below. For the finishing, you're going to need 24 of these. Obviously I have a lot more, so I'm going to be doing a few kits for giveaway and things like that as we get closer to the holiday season. But if you don't want to wait for that and you want to get ready, go ahead and grab your supplies now. So you're gonna need 24 of these 3-inch wooden discs, and then you're going to just need 1 spool of, and you don't have to use pink and white, by the way. I'm using pink and white because I thought it'd be cute with that pink fabric that I'm using, but you could do red and white, you could do green and white, blue and white, and you can also choose a different fabric than what I'm using as well. I just thought pink themed tree would be really cute, and you're gonna see why that kind of coordinates with some of the other things I have coming soon as well here in just a minute. But the fabric is just this really light blush pink, pale pink, and so I think that's going to be really cute. And now that I'm holding this, I'm almost wondering if I should have done a green and white or red and white. I think it would also be cute with a red and white. So just some ideas for you. They're going to be finishing again at the same size. The stitchy pieces finish at about 2.5 by 2.5, so that's why I'm using the 3-inch circles, so we have a nice border around the outside of them, and then you'll see also how we're going to finish those. The other thing you might want to get is some quilt batting. I will be putting that in between my stitched piece and my wood, and then you'll need some accent fabric for the backings. I haven't chosen my accent fabric. We're still in the early stages of getting these designed, but I did just want to give you a heads up of what's coming soon so you can plan ahead. And of course, tons of more information will be coming soon on those as I get farther along in the process. So again, pink nutcracker themed for this year's Christmas ornaments for the Stitchy and the Quilty. And then leave me a comment below letting me know if you are up for a little bit more complicated quilty ones, or maybe I can try and make them a little bit easier too. They're all designed, but they are just a little bit extra, and so I'm just not sure if you guys would prefer to keep them a little bit more simple. So let me know in the comments below, should I do the nutcracker quilty ornaments? Should I skip them this year? Or should I do my best to try and make them a little bit less complicated? Because there's a lot of tiny pieces in those guys. Okay, that's it for my cross stitch. Now we're going to move into my knit and crochet. I have a few fun projects that I'm working on, and I have some sneak peeks for there as well. Okay, so the first thing, and I literally just cast this on, but I want to share it with you because I think it's going to be really fun. So one of my favorite things about starting a new project is just prepping the bag. I don't know if you enjoy doing that, but like getting your yarn spun up and getting all your supplies organized and put in your bag. So I'm actually going to share with you all the things I put in my bag to get ready for this project. And actually this one's very easy, so it wasn't a whole lot of work. So I'm housing it in my Sherpa tote. This is a free tutorial here on YouTube. And this is what that looks like on the inside. And I love this tote. It's soft and cozy, and it's still really warm here, but it is giving me like fall vibes a little bit, so I'm here for it. So the first thing I put in here are all my little yarn balls. Hopefully you can see those down in there. Those are my leftover sprinkled fibers bunny box, and they were just little minis. I think there was 12 of them, and I used them for another project that I'm going to show you in just a minute. But I had a lot of leftovers, and I wanted something that I could do with my leftovers and then maybe just add in a little bit of an extra skein or get rid of some of the other minis that I have laying around. So I'm going to be doing the boho blush shawl. This is by Drea Renee Knits, and I thought it just looked like a nice, simple, fun thing to knit. And the other thing I really loved was all of this fringe. I just thought that looked super fun, and with the fabric, sorry, I'm a quilter, with the yarn that I have, I thought that would be absolutely adorable. I also saw it done in another sprinkled fiber kit that she did, and she had light pink down into like deeper pinks down into like a hot pink, and it just looked so pretty. So I found that on Instagram. You can search, if you search hashtag sprinkled fibers, I think the boho blush shawl was one of the first ones that came up, so you should be able to find it that way if you want to see it. But here's all of my yarns ready to go, and these are my leftovers. The other thing that I put in my bag are my glasses, and these glasses are one of my favorites, so I'm going to share them with you. This is not sponsored. These are by Peepers, and they have a bunch of different ones. These ones are sort of a pink tortoise shell, and then they've got pink for the ear pieces, and so those are really cute. And I always just toss a pair of glasses in my bag because I will always need them, and then that way when I grab my bag and I run out the door to go to like knit group or whatever, I always have a pair of glasses in there, because there is nothing more frustrating than getting to knit group and not being able to see what I'm doing, because then it's just a struggle the whole night. So I always put a pair of glasses in. The other thing I put in is my little mini pouch, and I have a few of these now. This is a free tutorial here on YouTube as well. I have a full-size vinyl pouch tutorial that you can use for your cross-stitching projects or your English paper piecing projects, so those are really fun. But then also I made some minis to store all of those small items that you don't want to get lost in your bag. So I have my scissors and my tape measure in here, and you can put stitch markers or yarn needles or anything small that you just don't want getting lost in your bag. So I always put a little tiny bag of all my notions, and then my stitch markers, and I normally will have these just in my small bag, but because these come in their own little tub and I wasn't sure how many I was going to need for this project, I went ahead and just grabbed the whole case and I just put that in there. So these are the Cocoa Knits ones. They come in a variety of different sizes, so this is the size for this project, and they're just like a little variety of colors. I also have some that are natural metal, so they have like a gold, bronze, and silver, and I love those as well. So it depends on the project I'm working on. If I'm working on a colorful project, I'll grab my colorful stitch markers. If I'm working on something more neutral, I'll usually grab those kind of more natural tones, just so that I can keep my vibe going for that project. And I know it sounds silly, but having matching stitch markers somehow just makes my heart happy. So you do what you want, but I love having all my stuff coordinate. The other thing that I have in my bag, especially for this one, is some highlighter tape, and this is just a pink one. They come in different colors, or pink, yellow. This is a yellow one. They come in different colors. I think my daughter has my pink one. Otherwise, I would have that one in here, because you'll see why. Everything in here is pink, and I should go get that from her so my stuff matches. And if you don't know what highlighter tape is, by the way, it's basically like a clear tape, so you can see behind there, and it's perfect for knitting and crochet, anything where you're reading a pattern where you need to keep track of your lines. You can lift off your highlighter tape and move it down to the next line, and you can see through it so that you can either put your highlighter tape on the line you're working on, or I still tend to put it below the line I'm working on just out of habit, and it also stays in place. So I've had other things that I've used like magnetic and things like that, but sometimes when you throw them in your bag, they can actually get moved around, and so highlighter tape is sort of more my go-to. So I always have that in my bag. And then, like I said, I just cast this on last night, so this is my tiny little start. I'm already loving it. The colors are so fun. The bunny box is full of just beautiful, fun pinks, and then it goes into some blues. There's some blues and aquas and purples. So when I first started it, it was a little bit confusing, but then once I read it and actually did it, it was actually quite easy. The only thing I didn't realize when I grabbed this pattern is that it has a little bit of brioche in it. And up until this point, I've been a little bit nervous to learn how to do brioche. However, it's just a small section, and so I think, and it's just straightforward, I think I'm just gonna go for it and try and learn how to do that brioche stitch. And I was thinking I could cheat and do like a ribbing or something for that section instead of the brioche, but I've been wanting to learn anyway, so I suppose I can always tear it out, but I think it's gonna be easy. It looks pretty straightforward. There's no increases or decreases from what I can tell for the brioche section. That doesn't mean that that's accurate, so don't quote me on that, but it does look pretty easy, but it's nothing like super complicated and crazy like you see in some brioche patterns. So I am going to go for it. Let me know if you've done this pattern in the comments below and how hard it is, or if you've done brioche, or if you have any tips for me. I would love to hear those as well. And then the needles I'm using are my Likey or Licka blush needles. I did get these in the pink colorway, and they're really cute. The only thing I don't love about them is this cord. And I have boiled the cords, I've heated them, I've stretched them, I've done all kinds of things to them, and they just still have a mind of their own. So once you get a project on here, it's not too bad. So I am just going to keep using them because the needles are pink. I love them, and also I love that they're a wood. And my stitches aren't sliding too easily, because with this fingering weight yarn, if these were metal needles, I feel like my stitches would just be sliding all over a little bit too easily. So I like that they stick on here just a little bit, and I love knitting with them as well. They're nice and smooth, and the joins are nice and smooth. So those are the needles I'm using. I can't quite hold up all of the skeins here, but I did just want to give you a sampling. There goes one. I did want to give you a sampling of what it's going to look like. So look how fun these colors are. So my plan is to use up all of these mini skeins and just see how far I get with those. And then I do have a matching sort of hot pink skein that I'm going to throw in at the end, and I'll use that for probably that very last few rows and then for the fringe. So I think it's going to be really cute. Stay tuned for updates on that. The bunny box from Sprinkled Fibers, it was a one-time kind of deal. I think she does them annually, so you can't get those anymore, but she does have new skeins coming out all the time. And then also I got her Advent for this year, so you'll be seeing that coming up for Advent season. I love all her fun bright colors, so stay tuned for that. I think her Advents are sold out. I'm not sure. You might want to contact her if you're still interested, but I believe they sold out probably like a month or two ago. I can't remember when they released, but the yarn Advents release really early, so if you're interested in getting something like that, definitely keep your eye out starting in like April. So I'm keeping my next project in my little tote bag that we made here on YouTube. I think it was just a couple videos ago. So this was a free tutorial here on YouTube, and you can use this to carry all of your supplies and whatnot, but also I have a fun little project in here as well. And it's really easy to just tote around and just set on the table, and then you have all your supplies handy, and then all my yarn is on the inside. So it's a little bit empty right now because I took all of those yarn balls out. I was using my Sprinkled Fiber yarn that I just showed you and put it in the other bag because this one is pretty much done-ish. These are some ornaments for this year, and someone last year had suggested that I do knitting or crochet ornaments to go along with my stitchy and quilty ones. And so I want to do something really easy for you guys, and something that was fast and something that was super cute. So we've got a couple different ones. I'm going to show you the little hats first. So these are all in progress, keep in mind, and the patterns and video tutorials will be coming down the road as we get closer to Christmas. So I have a whole little series of mini beanies. And actually one of my daughters had suggested that I put these on the ducks that are sitting on the dash of my Jeep, which I think would be a really cute idea. So I might have to do that. So here's my first one, and this is crochet, but it does look like knit ribbing, which is why I did it. I have another one in the blue, and then here's one I did in one of the blue and pink skeins that were kind of variegated. So I only have 3 of them done so far. I do have another one that I'm working on that has a different color brim on it, so you'll see that coming soon. And you can make your own little pom-poms. I actually just bought a bag of pom-poms from my local craft store to put on there, and I just sewed it on with some thread and a needle, and so it was really easy. And then I just have my tail for my hanger, and I can't decide. This is pretty simple hanger, and I might leave it like that, or I was thinking I might also do like a little chain like I did for the stockings I'm about to show you, and so it's like a little bit of a beefier hanger. I haven't decided yet, so I don't want the hanger part to stand out too much and take away from the hat. But anyways, so these are the little beanie crochet beanies. Those will be coming your way soon. So we did the little beanies, and the other ornaments I have coming are these cute little stockings. So there are 3 styles. There is the one that's like the solid with the accent heel and cuff. I've got a striped version, and then I have one that has the accent toe, heel, and cuff. And so this isn't all the ones I've made. I've made 12 of them, and these were all made using that bunny box that I just showed you. And then I also made one using my leftover yarn from last year. These were from my sleigh ride socks. So if you did my sock patterns, I think that was last year, or was it the year before now? I can't remember. I think it was last year. But they were so cute. And so this is the coastal cotton yarn, and it's in the worsted weight. So I have one that I did that was solid, and I think they just turned out so cute. So this has already been filmed and will be coming your way soon. It is going to be a free tutorial here on YouTube, and then as always, you can get the pattern for all 3 styles in my store as well. So those will be coming soon. So another sneak peek for our ornaments this year. And I don't always give sneak peeks this far in advance. However, I'm working on them. And I know a lot of you guys like to plan ahead on your projects and figure out what you're going to be doing for the holidays. And so I just wanted to share some of the things coming your way so that you can plan in advance. And also leave me a comment below letting me know when you'd like to see those released. Would you like to see them a little bit sooner or closer to like maybe November? I mean, is November too late, or should I go for, I was kind of thinking I might go for sometime in October, because I do have a fall quilt coming soon that I'm going to talk about in just a minute. So I'm thinking maybe October-ish timeframes. So leave me a comment below letting me know which version you think is going to be the most fun, and then also when you'd like to see those released. I know a lot of you are planners like I am. And then the last thing I want to share with you is just a way to use up some of those leftover crochet sunburst circles if you have any left over. I happen to have 2 left over that I wasn't paying attention. I was at midnight and I was just going along and having fun, and I put too many spokes in the center. So instead of 16 spokes like in the tutorial, I actually did 17 spokes. I did the whole thing before I realized that I had done that, and then I couldn't really use them in my bag because they would have not have fit properly. So I didn't want to throw them away. So instead of finishing them off like I did the regular granny square in the video, I actually just put 2 single crochets in each space all the way around the outside edge, and I turn them into coasters. So these are really cute. This one's still curling up a little bit. I've been using this one and I haven't used this one. So in order to keep them from curling up, what you can do is just block them, and then that outer edge won't curl up. So they were really easy, and it was a great way to finish off these blocks. Instead of tearing them out, I just added a cute little border, and now I have 2 fun little coasters that I just leave on my desk over here for whenever I have a cold beverage or a warm beverage and I don't want it sitting directly on my desk. So if you have any where you messed up and you don't want to put it in your finished project, or if you just want to make a couple of these for fun or for gifts, I think that would be a great gift idea as well. If you missed the tutorial, I'll make sure to link that below. I'll put an image here of what they look like. I made a crochet bag out of them. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite bags, and I do have a pattern for that as well. But like I said, if you have a couple left over or you just want to have a quick little fun project, I think coasters would be a really fun way to use up those sunburst granny squares. I actually did the same thing with one of the flowers from my flower crochet tote. This was my tester flower, and so it's not perfect, and so I actually just went ahead and left it all by itself, and it's a little coaster in my sewing room as well. So this is just my encouragement to you. If you have leftover crochet blocks or things that maybe just weren't perfect and so you didn't put them into your finished project, then you can still use them in your sewing room as coasters. So we're going to start off with our August pillow. I'm sure you guys just saw it, but I wanted to show it again just in case. So here is our August Quilty pillow. This one was so much fun. I love making it scrappy. All of these fabrics are from my Bloom collection, and I used pretty much all of my scraps from what I had left over from my quilt projects. The only thing that you need a little bit more fabric for would be your backing. I used the seed backing for this, and it is the envelope style backing, and then I used the green floral for that border, and then I put on my little Made by Erica label. Those are from Ever Emblem. I get a lot of questions on those. I will link them below, and I think it was something floral. Like if you get to her website and you search for floral personalized label, I think this one will come up, and I can't remember the exact name of it. If I can, I'll put it right here on the screen because I've had a lot of questions on those. But anyways, here's the pillow for August. More details and all of that are in the August video release for these pillows, so you can head over and check that out as well. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention was the Bloom fabric. Thank you all for all of your kind comments on this fabric, for all of your orders. I did want to let you know that we do still have just a little bit of yardage left in our store. So if you were unable to get some, hop over there and grab it. It's first come, first serve, and it is just whatever we have left is it, and then we won't be re-releasing that, at least not anytime soon. We might be like maybe in the future, but for right now, the bundles that were sold and the yards that we have is all we have left. So make sure that you head over and grab that if you are still interested. So thank you all for purchasing Bloom. I know it sold out really fast and I apologize, but I have some good news. We have a fall line that is coming soon. I'm looking to release that in September, so keep an eye out for that. I have a really cute fall quilt. It's called Happy Harvest, and I'm not going to tell you too much information, but it's got a lot of fun colors and maybe some vegetables that go along with fall, things like that. I don't want to give you too much information, but stay tuned. It is coming soon. I'm waiting for the fabric to get here currently. As soon as it gets here, I will make the quilt and then get all the bundles cut. Now, I do want to say that we are going to be releasing this one a little bit differently than we did with Bloom. So with Bloom, we did the fat quarter bundles. We also released yardage, and we ended up having a lot of mix and match, which is fine, but it was a lot of work on our end because we are self-publishing. So for Happy Harvest, we're actually going to release just the entire quilt kit. So it's going to be everything you need to make the entire quilt, including the backing, binding, borders, background fabric, and everything. There's two different options for backing. So there is going to be a lighter backing version and a little bit of a darker backing version. So you can pick one of the two kits. They will be released first come, first serve. And I know they're gonna sell out really quickly. So stay tuned. Make sure you're following me on Facebook and Instagram. I will release those there. I will also be doing a release video here on YouTube. But by the time the videos go live, you guys are so fast. Stuff sells out like immediately. So just keep an eye on it. I will give you guys heads up when it's coming so you can prepare in advance and you can be ready for when it launches. If you've seen any of my previous fall quilts, it's going to have that same feel and vibe. So it's got lots of oranges. I added in aquas as per usual. I always love adding aquas in. And then it's got a lot of fun low volume, some tans, some greens. So I think you guys are really going to like it. I can't wait for my fabric to get here and start getting those bundles put together for you. I think it's going to just be such a fun project. It's also going to be relatively beginner friendly as well, so should be pretty quick to put together. So stay tuned for that coming soon. So the next thing I have coming down the pike, and this has been in the works for a while. I actually had it designed last year, but I really wanted to wait for my new fabric line to get here so that I could use that, and so I finally just got to sewing these blocks. And I haven't quite decided on a release date for this yet. I'm thinking I might release it either in December, maybe November, or maybe we'll start it as a new sew along in January. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Here's a little image of the Sew Quilty ornaments from last year, just to give you a refresher. And they were all sewing themed ornaments. They were so cute. And I did Quilty and I did Stitchy. And then I wanted to do a full-size quilt to go along with that. So I am going to show you all of the blocks here today, so you can just start thinking ahead for when it's going to come. All right, so our first block is the tape measure block, and I'm going to go through these pretty quickly, and then every other block is sitting on a cake stand. So you're going to have 6 that are not on cake stands and 6 that are on cake stands. Here is block number 3, the sewing machine block. And by the way, a lot of these blocks I think would be great for just little minis on your wall because they're all sewing themed. Here is block number 4. I still need to do the embroidery for the cord on this one. Here's block number 5, our tomato pin cushion, and I still need to do the embroidery for the pins on that as well. And I'm just doing back stitches on there. There's instructions on the pattern for it as well. Here is block number, are we on 6, I think? The bobbin block. 7, the scissor block. 8, our spool block. 9, our button jar, or actually I think those are balls of yarn. 10, our ruler and rotary trimmer. 11, our bowl of buttons. And 12, our little stack of quilts. So I know that was really fast. You can go back and pause them if you want to look, but I did want to give you a sneak peek because that has been in the works. I'm so excited to be able to release that. It's so much fun. I'm not going to show the borders. Those are going to be at least a surprise for you guys, but I did all of those as well. And I did all my borders and binding first, so they were out of the way. So then when I'm done with the blocks, all I had to do was sew everything together. So that is going to be happening hopefully this week. I'm thinking about doing a sew along. I did not film video tutorials for it, but if you've done any of my patterns, you'll know that they have step-by-step visual and written instructions, so they're really easy to follow. And then I do have little videos that I did film for them, just talking about them and tips for each one and things like that. So let me know in the comments below if you would like to see that as more of a sew along type thing. We can post our progress in our Sew With Me group. I think that would be a lot of fun. But that's the Sew Quilty Quilt. It will be coming up shortly. I haven't decided on a full release date yet for that because I have the fall stuff and I will have a lot of Christmas stuff coming as well. So I'm kind of thinking about saving it for January of 2025. I know that seems like a long ways away, but it's going to come really quickly. I do have 2 giveaways for today's video. One is a quilting themed giveaway and one is a cross stitch themed giveaway. So requirements for entering those giveaways are going to be right here. Number 1, you need to be a subscriber of my channel. I like to do giveaways for my subscribers as a way to say thank you. Number 2, make sure you leave a comment to any of the questions that I asked during this video and tack on the end of it cross stitch or quilting so that I know which one you would prefer. And then number 3, I do apologize, but US only. International shipping is really expensive right now, so we're trying to keep it our cost down just a little bit, so US only. And then I will pick 2 winners from our comments and get those prizes sent out. I will be replying to your comment here on YouTube. I will also put your name in the description below this video, and you can email me at erica@confessionsofahomeschooler.com directly if you think you may have won. Please don't give your information out to anybody else. So that's pretty much it for everything I have for today's video. A lot of in-progress things happening and a lot of things coming down the pike, and I hope you're excited for all of our holiday content. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can also hit that notification bell. You can also hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. You can also hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming fun. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next video. So every year, starting a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, 3 years ago, I think, I would have my stitch markers in here, but I actually packed those separately, and I'll show you that in just a minute, or right now. And this is just the one that I found in my bag. So, and then the needles that I'm using for this are my Leica or Leica. And then the needles I'm using are my Leica or Leica Bandit. There's going to be 2 different options for backing, so you can, or for background backing, yeah. Okay.